Hi all, welcome to the Way Forward Talks with me, Amrita. Today, being Engineers Day, we are celebrating it by communicating with another fellow engineer. Before that, TWF is a company where we are into career development, interview preparation, but we always focus on the young minds to executives. So today we have Mr. Vaibhav Arora with us on the Way Forward Talks. He's a chemical engineer from Visvesaraya, Dubai, and he's a very young engineer who's been working with great people and proving to be an amazing engineer. So very happy to have you, Mr. Vaibhav. Your few words about yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amrita. It's a pleasure to be on this call with you right now, on this interview with you. So thanks for your kind words. Thanks for the introduction. I yes, I did my chemical engineering from West Villani, Dubai, the Dubai campus. First of all, whenever I introduce myself and I say that okay, I am from that particular campus, so usual reaction from most of the people is that oh, another campus offshore as well. Like yeah, there is. So it's a learning for a lot of other people as well that yeah, there is this campus which is quite a renowned name in India, but yeah, we do have another campus over there as well. Um, so yeah, I've been working as a chemical engineer for almost 3 years now. In the space of pilot plant scale-up operations, optimizations, safety, and technology transfer, if I can say it in a particular word. In going in more depth for that is the agrochemical sector for that.
Wonderful. Amazing. So I think working hands-on makes a difference. When we are learning in college, it's a different aspect, but getting it hands-on is completely different. So happy to see you that you're doing it hands-on and you're growing along with it. That's amazing. So just a curious thing. So when you were in college or before going to college, what was your passion? Why did you want to get into engineering? What was it that drove you towards engineering?
So I'll be very honest over here. It's not about like, there was always a passion since I was a kid that I wanted to become an engineer, chemical engineer to be specific, or that like, there was one particular incident that happened with me that drove that passion in me, or that I have a lot of engineers in my family, which in my closest family, if I look, there are none. In my closest friends and family, there are none. At
Mhm.
time I was pursuing engineering, I couldn't find anyone whom I could look up to as an inspiration for, or that yes, this is something which I definitely want to be, and there is no other option that I would want to pursue at all. But uh, I was also good at like problem solving and mathematics, and just wanted to build stuff. That is something which I was always good at, was always curious about since a kid. Always an outgoing person in terms of like wanting to get their hands dirty, be it it's or whatever.
Mhm.
So that was one thing. Honestly, it just happened with the flow. That is my answer. I wouldn't say that uh, towards the end of my school days, there was some another spark which sparked, or like any another thing which happened, another conversation or any interaction with somebody which led me to do that, led me to this path.
Mhm.
But it was more about that. Yes, it was pretty clear to me that yes, like in our Indian education, what we do is like after 10th, we take up either science, commerce, or arts. So the generic term, like for me, what I feel is, uh, I'm generalizing it way too much over here right now. But how it happens is that if you're really good with maths and if you're really good in academics, you either end up taking science or commerce with maths.
Yes.
That is how the generic norm is. Is it good or bad? That is not the question here, but that is how I ended up in that position and started for IIT preparation as the
Mhm.
norm.
Mhm.
Went ahead with that, and towards the end of my school days, 12th, I just didn't think about anything else, to be honest. That okay,
Wonderful.
apart from engineering, what do I do? So started with that.
Awesome. Awesome. Super. So I think BITS has a wonderful curriculum and it gives us a balance of both, you know, core science and as well as extracurricular and above that. So I think you might have gone for internships during your college days. How was it? How was the experience, and how important was it according to you post completion? What did you feel? Did you feel any great aspects that you have learned through those internships, and what was it?
It's a really good and important question, in my opinion. For me, yes, like you said, we have a very interesting curriculum in the way it is designed for students to practice whatever they want to in the most flexible manner. So even with internships, is there is an option to, like, a person can do thesis, which I didn't opt for. So my first internship was in New Delhi here itself, where I belong from.
Mhm.
So that was not a very long one, just for 2 months, and the other one, which was in the final year of my college days, the extended one for 6 months, like the whole semester, was in Dubai itself.
Mhm.
Interestingly, even though I was doing chemical engineering, none of those two internships were from chemical engineering. And on top of that, even in between my third year, I did another internship when I was back at home in New Delhi.
Mhm.
Even that one was not from chemical engineering. So first one happened to be in the HVAC sector,
Okay.
uh, which is the heating, ventilation, air conditioning sector.
Mhm.
Second one happened to be in the civil sector, like more like of a blend of mechanical and civil. And the
Yes.
third one happened to be in a edtech company,
Oh my
which
God.
was dealing with like various tools to perform STEM education for students and as well as teachers and facilitators in the whole of United Arab Emirates region.
Mhm.
So having such a diverse experience at that time when I was going through all of this, it felt like, why am I going through all of this? I am not supposed to be going through all of this. This is not going to be looking good on my resume or CV.
Mhm.
What am I really going to get for, like, the industrial standpoint? What am I
Mhm.
going to say to my recruiters afterwards? Like, when I really want to get a chemical engineering job,
Right.
that this is my internship in all different areas of life, but did nothing
Mhm.
which, like,
Mhm.
reflects my learning as a chemical engineer. It felt like that.
Mhm.
And so that was not the best way to approach that. But right now, what I feel is that uh, I just got a taste of different things. I
Mhm.
just explored things which I probably wouldn't have otherwise. No chance. And that, I feel, is the most important part of internship, is that it's just a 2 to 3 to maybe 6 month experience that you're going to get.
Mhm.
What can you get the most out of it? Are you going to cry and sit about, like, this is not where I'm supposed to be? Or are you going to look at it with another perspective and a positive mindset, a growth mindset, that I am where I am. This is exactly where I'm meant to be. How can I add most value to the organization that I'm working at? And also, who is stopping me to learn whatever skills I want to add up to myself, apart from my office hours or work hours? I can continue to learn more about that industry, or I can probably uh, read about more about chemical engineering when I'm, like, on my weekends or when I'm done with my work. That is one thing. Also, after graduation, after, like, that, because that has been a long time ago,
Mhm. Mhm.
during my interaction with a lot of engineers from computer science or chemical,
Mhm.
irrespective of the stream, I have seen a lot of people from, like, switch from their particular core competency to doing completely different things, exactly because of the reason that they got a opportunity to explore something else, which really clicked for them. That,
Yes.
I feel, is the biggest takeaway for me.
Mhm. Mhm. True, true, wonderful. So happy. I mean, internships actually build the character and the person in terms of the facing the customer or facing the situations they're going to face post they join the job. So very well said. Actually, all these things adds up to the person very much. Good. Okay, so finally, just coming out towards the students. How do you see the students nowadays, and what is your kind words that you would like to say as an engineer that will add on to them?
This is something which I am guilty of. So towards the end of my college days, so, like, everyone wants to get started with work. Ideally, we want a job before we graduate, right? That is the ideal situation. That, fortunately, unfortunately, didn't happen for me.
Mhm.
And since I was not a good networker, I considered myself to be very, very big introvert,
Mhm.
and I was proud of that. Like I was proud and I had an ego that, look, you know what, I am this person. I'll do whatever it takes and be like give you the best looking CV out there with the best looking skills and grades and courses and certificates and whatnot, and that should do the talking for me. But I myself don't want to do the talking for myself. As in, I don't want to network, I don't want to talk, I don't want to ask somebody for help. That was the biggest limitation for me at that time. What happened because of all of that was that I was limiting myself. I didn't know that this was the biggest hurdle which I was creating for myself. Uh, I was proud of it at that time, but probably I learned it the hard way that I should have been more open
Mhm.
and more open, not in terms of just mindset, but also in terms of speaking out for myself, networking and reaching out to more people. Yes, we say that a lot, right? Your net worth is your network. It
Right.
sounds very cliche and like such a like easily tossed around phrase, but you only understand the importance and the power behind this once you get in touch with somebody who actually happens to change your life.
Yes.
So going back to my previous experience, like I was talking about, like the ending days of my graduation, like just before graduating and after graduation.
Mhm.
So I was quote unquote desperate for a job at that time. Everybody has their own experiences, everybody has their own needs. Somebody just wants to get up and running and wants to climb up the corporate ladder as fast as possible, could be their motivation. For somebody it could be that they just want to have 1 to 2 years of experience before they go in for another master's or an MBA or whatever.
True.
Somebody could be not in a very financially well off situation, or they want to help or support their family. Probably their parents are sick, or they're probably going to be the only earning member of the family. So those backgrounds are completely different and completely unique to that person. So
Mhm.
for me, I also had my own reasons, and that because I was not able to use that my unique self, my unique reason, and turn it into a powerful why, a powerful reason why I wanted to do something. That didn't come off properly in front of the people who were interviewing me, the
Mhm.
recruiters. It didn't come off properly. And because I also was in a different country wherein I didn't have a good network, strong family network, strong friends, and I hadn't done a lot of hard work myself to build a strong network. In the time I was there for 4 years, I was struggling at the time when I
Mhm.
actually needed support.
Yes.
Because I think, yes, college curriculum, be it BITS, be it IITs, or be it even other colleges, we always end up complaining, like the age old education system behind every other problem that we are going to face. But I think that is going to be a constant no matter where we are, which part of the world we are in, and what kind of an education we are getting. Because yes, there will be limitations, and then what is it that you're going to do about it? There are certain things that you're not going to be taught. You're not going to be taught how to network effectively. You're not going to be taught how to start a business. You're not going to be taught how to be a good communicator or overcome your limiting beliefs. And that is something which I had to do myself. All the hard work, which was something which was limiting me to get to the place where I wanted to be. This was something which was limiting me. And so my learning and takeaway and looking back at it right now was that I viewed every platform as a job search platform, including LinkedIn. I'll Why I named that platform is because the way I look at it right now has completely changed.
Mhm.
I was never active on that platform. I was just like, the account was just there, just sitting there, doing nothing at all. Okay, it's time to get a job. Apply 10 to 20 applications in a single day and reach out to maybe two to three people in a single day and just type them a huge message that, hey, need a job, can you please help? Now, when I sometimes get that same thing from students or people who are just graduated, it feels like, okay, I was in that situation at a time. So I think it's more about how much are you willing to learn, on these particular things which I'm talking about. Because yes, I was in that place, shooting out a lot of messages to people, and the response was very low. And I now understand why. Because
Mm-hmm.
that is probably not the best way to communicate, not the best way to reach out to people. You cannot just beg and
Yes.
just randomly connect with somebody and hope that they will, like, change your life and give you a job. Networking is a difficult word and a very misleading word for many, because usually it means that I need it for a short term. I need to meet Amrita, for example, so that I can get something out of you. It's not that. Probably we need to look at it in a way that, like, how can I build a relationship which is not a short term one but a long term one?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That is something which I would encourage other people, not just students, not just graduates, but I think something which we need to continuously work upon. How can we develop that network? Because I think that is the biggest takeaway for me.
Very true, very true. I actually have faced the same thing, and I would say that LinkedIn was the same accordingly to me as well. So seeing you on LinkedIn is really a proud moment, Vaibhav. I mean, you have grown to that level, and I really appreciate you for that growth. So thank you so much for spending your time for the Way Forward Talks, and happy Engineers Day to you, and happy Engineers Day to everyone around there.
Thank you so much. Happy Engineers Day to you as well.
Thank you.